cycling group in college, and I was really grateful for it. So my senior year of college was during the pandemic, and cycling was one of the few ways that we could actually keep a connection with people, right? So during spring break, a few of us, we put together a larger multi-day ride. So we were gonna go to one place, camp, spend the night, and then second day go to another place, camp, spend the night again. And we thought that we'd done a really good job putting together this whole plan. So we go first night, there are no issues, get to the place, spend the night, everything's fine. And then we get to the second campsite, and we find that a campsite that we thought was going to be private with a shed where we could lock up our bikes was actually open, very public and not secure at all. And normally this wouldn't really be a problem, right? You go to a campground, there are people milling about. But the issue was at this time, there were a lot of bike shortages in the country, right? So we couldn't just leave our bikes out in the open. So myself and some of the other folks who put together this ride, we felt kind of bad about this, and we thought, man, we've got all these people into this situation, and we thought the only thing that we can do is just stay up with the bikes. We can take shifts during the night and watch these bikes. So as we're kind of formulating this plan, there was this guy in the group that I didn't really know super well named Branch, who overheard me. And Branch, he just looks about as different from me as you can imagine. At the time, I was a very prim and proper, skinny Indian boy, and in some ways still am. And the people in our group used to say privately that he just radiated sexual energy. He had this long curly hair that he tied back into a ponytail, 2 silver hoop earring, just piercing blue eyes. And I'm like, I don't really have much in common with this guy, right? Like, I'm an engineer, I don't know. So anyway, so he taps me on the shoulder and he says, dude, you're gonna get up and just watch the bikes by yourself? And I'm like, yeah, I guess, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. is my shift. I'm just taking the solo shift. And he says, I'll get up with you. And I say, no, it's fine. You don't have to do that. We kind of got all of us into the situation. He said, no, I will get up with you. And I said, okay, fine. He's being nice, so that's fine. But at the time, I had a really hard time relating to the men in my life in general. I had gone through this earth-shattering breakup, right? And I was really relying on my girlfriends to get me through it and call them and be like, my heart's broken today. And they're like, yeah, your heart's broken today. You can't really call other guys in your life and say things like that. So I thought, 3 a.m., 6 a.m. is nice, kind of romantically cry under the stars about this lost love. And now there's this dude with piercing blue eyes who's going to be there. Really do that, right? And so the 3 a.m. rolls up and I put my headlamp on, and it's kind of chilly out. And I relieve the other people on shift, and I sit down on this cold metal bench and I turn on the jet boil to make myself a cup of coffee. And then I see another headlamp go on out amongst the tents, and Branch just walks up to me. I offer him a cup of coffee, and we're sitting there on that cold bench, just looking off into the park. And we're chit-chatting a little bit, and I think, I don't really want to have this conversation, so I start playing some music. And we're just sitting there, sipping coffee, watching the steam go up out of the cups, listening to music. The song starts called Can I Call You Tonight by Dayglow. And Branch, he looks at me, and I can't really see his face. I just see the light coming off of his headlamp, the red light coming off of his headlamp. And he says, the song's dank, man. I'm like, yeah, I guess song's dank, And then he says, I was talking to my therapist about it the other day, and I said, therapist? He was the first man I think I'd known at that time who was open about the fact that he had gone to therapy to seek some help about something, right? And, I'm a sensitive guy, and I was doing the same thing, and thought, wow, that's kind of interesting. So we get to talking, and he shares with me that he also had this great love of his life that he was with for a long time, and how that relationship had ended and how it had just tore him up inside. And we just started swapping experiences and speaking each other's mind in a way that we felt like the other people in our life hadn't been able to capture. This devastation that we had both felt, that we had been with someone that we thought, I would have married that girl, and I lost her. And what does that say about me as a man? What does that say about me? And there was that thing between us there that it just felt like an embrace, right? It just felt like an embrace. And so we sat there talking, and as our voices started to get tired, we started to play music again. And again, we're just shielded by the red light from our headlamps, and we can see each other, but not quite, and we're next to each other, close but not too far. And he asks me, hey, can I play a song? I say, sure. And he plays a song called Clay Pigeons by Blaze Foley. There's a line in that song that goes, I've been running around looking for answers to questions I'd already know. I could build me a castle of memories just to have somewhere to go. And as Blaze Foley is singing this, and we're sitting there drinking our Jetboil coffee, the sun starts to rise above the trees, and we decide that it's probably time to make oatmeal for everyone. Eat that oatmeal, get on our bikes, and just keep on pedaling. Thank you.